Welcome to the Socialite podcast, where we empower you with the marketing know-how you need to create the business of your dreams. I'm your host, Steph Taylor, and I'm a marketing nerd, Shiraz lover, and passport stamp collector. Join me as I dive into all things small business marketing and deliver them to you in bite-sized, fluff-free lessons every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Let's get learning.
Hey, have you ever considered creating an online course? Creating my first online course completely changed my business. It allowed me to shift from trading time for money. It allowed me to pick and choose the clients that I really wanted to work with. It created consistent income in my business, and it meant that I could help more people, the people who couldn't afford to work with me one-on-one. And once I got over the overwhelm and the imposter syndrome, creating my first online course was actually really fun. So much fun that I recently went and created yet another one. Anyway, if creating an online course is something that you've had at the back of your mind, maybe it's been on your someday to-do list, I have a little treat for you. I've partnered with the amazing Amy Porterfield, who is the course creation queen, and she's sharing her ultimate course creation starter kit with you guys for free. Inside the starter kit, you'll learn 7 proven strategies to help you choose the perfect course topic for your business. So no boring surveys, no uncomfortable conversations. You'll get Amy's top strategies from over 10 years of digital course creation experience. You'll also learn the art and science of a high converting course name. Amy's sharing her favorite naming formulas that will help you nail down a compelling course name in 10 minutes. And you'll discover the 5 types of profitable digital courses, because not all courses are created equal. So head to stephtaylor.co/Amy to download Amy Porterfield's Ultimate Course Creation Starter Kit for free. Okay, so this episode I'm sharing some of my launch lessons. Now, every launch that I do, I learn a lot more than I did in every other previous launch before. And at the end of each launch, I try to set aside some time to reflect on what worked, what didn't work, and what I learned. This episode, I'm sharing with you 5 lessons that I learned from my last online course launch, the launch of InstaBAM. Okay, here we go. The first thing that I learned is that things won't go to plan, so be flexible and try to have a backup plan in place. I feel like this latest launch, pretty much everything that could have gone wrong did go wrong. And I touched on that big fail that happened a few episodes ago. So when my webinar platform crashed on the first day of my launch, not ideal. I hadn't prepared for a situation like that. So I had no idea what to do when it happened. And because of that, I went into crisis mode. Had I planned for it, I would have maybe had a backup platform like Zoom or YouTube Live ready. And I would have been able to send a link to my viewers to head over there to watch the webinar on the backup platform. Anyway, chances are that when you're launching, there will be something that doesn't go to plan. Don't stress over it. Don't tell yourself that your launch is doomed. Instead, be flexible in your approach and look at it as if it's like a little challenge, a little hurdle that you have to overcome. Treat it like a little fun challenge. The second lesson that I learned is that it's not all about the numbers. I got really upset with this launch because it didn't come anywhere close to the goals that I'd set, and partly because of the big tech fail that meant that 350 people who had registered couldn't actually watch the webinar. But it's not just about the numbers. Like, sure, selling more courses would have been great, but each launch, you learn more about your product, your audience, and yourself. Now, the next time that I go to launch this course, I'll be able to tweak the launch and the messaging accordingly. Launch lesson number 3. Simpler is better when it comes to launching with a webinar. Now, Amy Porterfield, who is pretty much the guru of webinars, she always says, teach a little, not a lot. And to me, that sounded very counterintuitive. Like, I love to give as much free value to my audience, and webinars are no exception for this. But what I didn't realize is that my past webinars were so full of content that I actually overwhelmed my audience. Instead of leaving my webinar feeling like they wanted to learn more, they were leaving feeling like I'd added a million things to their to-do lists and that they had no time to do these things, let alone to complete the course that I was pitching them. So this launch, I embraced the concept of teaching a little, not a lot. And honestly, I think it was the most fun one that I've ever taught. And the feedback that I got was great. So obviously it works. Launch lesson number 4, allow yourself enough time to plan your launch. I am such a last minute person. Like, I decide that I want to do something and that I want it done tomorrow. And this latest launch was no exception. I spent months working on the content, and I decided just one day that I needed to get this product done, launched, out there. So I set the wheels in motion and I gave myself about 30 days to launch it. Now, while I actually managed to pull it off, I was a little bit stressed. Actually, saying that I was stressed is an understatement. I don't recommend trying to launch in 30 days. Give yourself at least double that to plan your webinars, your emails, your social posts, etc., etc. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a lot of grey hairs like me. Launch lesson number 5, promote it everywhere. I'm terrible at this because I don't want my audience to feel like I'm just promoting all of the time. But when it's time for a launch, you really do have to promote it everywhere. And not just everywhere once, but everywhere over and over again, because your audience aren't seeing every single post. Or maybe they saw it once, but they were busy, so they forgot. So promote, promote, promote. Okay, that's it for this episode. Remember to head on over to stephtaylor.co/Amy, that's AMY, to download the Ultimate Course Creation Starter Kit for free. It's a free download, but it is packed with so much value. Amy knows a lot about course creation, and honestly, I credit the launch of both of my courses to the content in Amy's courses because she is amazing. I cannot rave enough. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss any new episodes. And if you're enjoying this podcast, I'd really appreciate it if you could leave a quick rating and a review. Thanks so much for listening, guys. Catch you next time.